First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth in sincerity by Shem Rokak Wadash. As you see the title of this article, it says free condoms available at Chicago public schools beginning this fall. You know, as if the society wasn't over-sexualized as it is, you know, and that's the thing. You know, right now they're pushing, you know, the alphabet groups are pushing to add the Z, you know, to their agenda. Okay. You got, and for those of you who don't know, that's basically bestiality. All right. It's going to be added to that LGBTQ whatever group. Okay. So, yeah, you got a lot of Sodom and Gomorrah activity here in America. Okay. And here it is. Now they're going to go ahead and give out free condoms at Chicago, in Chicago public schools. That, you know, and Chicago already got a problem with gun violence. You know, there's a lot of people getting killed out in Chicago, and you know, and putting a condom in a young kid's hand these days is like putting a gun in a kid's hand. All right, there's a lot of stuff out there. Okay. You know, there's a lot of traps that a young person could fall into, you know. So I want to read this article, play this video, and get another article and play a video and get some scripture, Lord willing, to be edifying. We are living in Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, and we know that was ensample into, okay, on you know, what would happen to those who lived ungodly. Okay, because we know they were going after strange flesh, and you know, we know that a lot of wickedness was going on. Okay, a lot of iniquity. You know, it wasn't just fornication. Okay, which we know fornication is illicit sexual intercourse. It was a lot more. Okay, and there's a lot more things going on here in America than just perversion. All right, so let's read this. This is Chicago. Starting this fall, free condoms will be available at Chicago public schools with students 5th grade or older. Okay, here it is. They're telling kindergartners as well. You know, what do you identify? You identify with being male or female, as if there was more than, you know, as if there was another choice, right? But here it is. 5th grade and older are going to start receiving condoms. The Chicago Sun-Times reports this is a part of a new policy passed by the CPS Board of Education in December. Under the CPS policy, schools that teach 5th grade and up must maintain a condom availability program. The Chicago Department of Public Health will provide condoms to 600 CPS schools to help prevent teen pregnancies, HIV, and other sexually transmitted diseases. Until now, principals have used their own discretion on sex-related education resources. To start, elementary schools will get 250 condoms and high schools will get 1,000. When a school runs out, principals will be told to request more from CPS and CDPH. In alignment with state standards, CPS sex ed curriculum includes lessons on puberty, hygiene, gender identity. There it goes, that gender identity, relationships, sexual harassment, birth control, abstinence, and prevention of sexually transmitted diseases. CPS schools will also be required to have free menstruation products available due an Illinois law passed in Springfield, according to Chicago Sun-Times. Okay, so, and I believe that was it. So, you know, here you have it. You know, they believe that this is a this is going to be the Board of Education, okay, is passing a new policy that, you know, that they believe this is going to be good for 5th graders, man. Okay, but you know, who better to teach their children about sex, and you know, but you know, their a child's parents, starting with their father, man. Okay, you know, especially a man of the Lord that has, you know, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Who better, you know, to govern his household? Okay, but a man of the Most High. you know? Let's see if we can play this video. And there's always an ad, man. Seriously? Wow. Right, about the vaccine, you see?
Starting this fall, any Chicago public school with students 5th grade or older, they're going to have free condoms. The Chicago Sun-Times reports this is part of a new policy passed in December. Nearly 600 CPS schools will have condoms to try and help prevent unwanted pregnancies and sexually transmitted diseases. Schools will also be required to have free menstruation products, thanks to a new Illinois law.
So there you have it, and like I said to the spirit, like as if
I'm Christina Carilla. If you or someone you know makes a great product here in our state,
our world wasn't over-sexualized as it is. Here it is, they're going to put condoms in the reach of children, man. And if children are not watched, properly, they pretty much will go ahead and make their own decisions, man. And that's what Esau wants. He wants a world where, people can do as thou wilt. All right. Because, who's to say that kids will actually use them, them shoving all this sex down their throat on TV and in social media. And now they're handing out free condoms. Hey, it's free reign to just say, hey, you know what? I'm in 5th grade now. I can get condoms. I'm going to just start having sex. I'm going to just start doing whatever I want. Now, check this out. This is Dalton parents enraged over masturbation videos for 1st graders. Let's play the video.
Big sometimes and points up in the air.
That's called an erection.
Sometimes I touch my penis because it feels good.
Sometimes, when I'm in my bath or when Mom puts me to bed, I like to touch my vulva too.
You have a clitoris there, Kayla, that probably feels good to touch the same way Keith's penis feels good when he touches it.
You see, so here it is. They're making masturbation videos for 1st graders. Okay, so we live in an over-sexualized world. We live in a world where they're trying to basically attack the children. Get them while they're young. Okay, so by the time they become adults, they're already perverted. They're already defiled. They've already used themselves up. They've already done it all. Nothing is sacred. Nothing is holy. You know what I mean? Nothing is by the laws, judgments, statutes, and commandments. Okay. It says last fall, parents at the posh $55,000 per year Dalton school got wind of their 1st graders being taught sex education lessons that included masturbation. They complained to school administrations, but were told they had simply misinterpreted what Dalton's now notorious health and wellness educator, Justine Ange Font, who last month led a controversial and explicit porn literacy workshop at another elite prep school, was teaching. But after the Post expose last week on the porn class, Dalton parents bombarded the school with more complaints about Fonte's curriculum, sources told the Post. The Post viewed video of a cartoon font used in one of her sex ed classes for 6-year-olds, showing little kids talking about touching themselves for pleasure. Hey, how come sometimes my penis gets big, sometimes, and points in the air? Asked the little boy in the cartoon, leading to an explanation of what an erection is. The boy nods and says, sometimes I touch my penis because it feels good. Then the little girl character chimes in, sometimes when I'm in my bath or when Mom puts me to bed, I like to touch my vulva too. Wow. Font has reassured parents that she does not use the word masturbation in class and that her lessons teach kids not to touch themselves in public. Yeah, and who's to say that some kid who's not okay in his right mind will not touch himself in public, or will not use the condoms that he's been giving them to just do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Do some heinous act. Okay? Our kids should be, kept as innocent, as long as can be, especially in this society. But look at this lady. This is the lady who led the controversial explicit porn literary workshop at at the other elite prep school. It was all smiling. She's probably a freak, and a half. You see? It says they also taught lessons about consent. All right. And, and who's to say that kids won't get consent misconstrued in their minds? Right. While one mother conceded that teaching the concept of consent can be valuable in protecting children from abuse, another said telling kids that their own parents or grandparents should not touch them without first asking for permission is extreme. Wow. You see? So, yeah, you could ultimately get a child's mind all messed up, man. All right. It says literally parents are supposed to say to their kids, "May I hug you?" One parent said. One mother said to another parent, another parent told her, "I'm paying $50,000 to tell these assholes to tell my kid not to let her grandfather hug her when he sees her." Fonte's lessons for first graders also include subjects such as gender assigned at birth, gender identity, and gender expression, right? Which could be misconstrued if not taught well. Okay. All these opinions from people who don't have the truth to our children. Okay, kids have no less than 5 classes on gender identity. This is pure indoctrination, a Dalton mother said. This person should absolutely not be teaching children. Ironically, she teaches kids about consent, yet she has never gotten consent from parents, right? Hey, straight up. Yet she has never got consent from parents about the sexually explicit and age inappropriate material about transgender to first graders. Right, you don't even ask parents. You don't even ask for the consent of the parent to teach these kids. Yeah, you want to teach kids about consent. That's true, man. That's a very good point. We are furious, a third Dalton mother told the Post. We are horrified to learn this was shown to our first grade 6 to 7-year-old kids without our knowledge or consent. But it's so hard to fight back because you'll get canceled and your child will suffer, right? Right. We're in a society where you can't speak up against, truth. You can't speak up out against unrighteousness because you're labeled. You're an extremist, of some sort. The second Dalton mother said, I am not against sexual education, but it's not cool to keep parents in the dark about it. Font has reassured parents that she does not use the word masturbation in class and that her lessons teach kids not to touch themselves in public. The parents spoke on the condition of anonymity because they are afraid of retaliation. The second mom hit back at adult administrators who she said are playing mind games with parents and not fessing up to what's really going on in classrooms. The school has said that only a small group of parents complained about Font's class last fall and that they misinterpreted the content. All at the same time, however, the school quietly removed the video about kids touching themselves from the curriculum. We are not confused. We are in fact just seeing very clearly for the first time what a progressive education really means to Dalton. The mother said the fact the school then gaslit parents into thinking we were confused is abysmal. Right? Right. Yeah. They use tactics against you, Here it is. These parents some parents are speaking out against their kids, that are 6 to 7 years old, learning about masturbation, and they're over there, gaslighting them. Font's work at the school is reportedly funded by a $450,000 grant given to Dalton in 2012 by hedge fund billionaire Bill Ackman's Pershing Square Foundation. You see? So this lady, who's teaching this this lady right here, what she's teaching, the 6 to 7 year olds is funded. Okay, this thing about masturbation is funded by what? By who? By this guy, Bill Ackman, man. And she's funded a $45,000 grant given to Dalton, the school. Okay, but it's being funded by this guy, Bill Ackman, $450,000. Ackman ex-wife Karen is on the Dalton Board of Trustees. What we are seeing across the country is that many schools have lost sight of the purpose of education and are hiding curriculum and teaching materials from parents. Right. A spokesperson of FAIR, the Foundation Against Intolerance and Racism, told the Post. Last week, the Post reported on Font's workshop, Porn Literacy, an intersectional focus on mainstream porn at Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School. Wow, now they're teaching porn, teaching about porn literacy at a grammar and preparatory school. Wow. This same lady, she looked like Moabite, So this is what the schools are teaching, man. This is what they're teaching the kids. Let's go on. The often explicit slide presentation and lecture to the 120 co-ed juniors included how porn takes care of 3 big male vulnerabilities. Statistics on the orgasm gap, showing straight women have far fewer orgasms with their partners than gay men or women, and photos of partially nude women, some in bondage, to analyze what is porn and what is art. You see? And in the mind of someone who's not cultivated, especially a young person, this could be perverted. This could, it is perversion. This has no place in schools, man. Font's presentation included a list of most searched pornographic terms of 2019, including cream pie, anal, gangbang, stepmom, and more. Wow. Shortly after the Post published the Columbia Prep story last week, its head of school, Dr. William M. Donahue, sent a conciliatory email to school parents saying that the content and tone to the presentation did not represent our philosophy, which is to educate our students in ways that promote their personal development and overall health. Right. So, yeah, school does promote philosophies. Now, in the hands of the wrong people, okay, who are funded with a lot of money, it will not promote personal development, overall health. You see? It says, as well as to express respect for them as individuals. It was unfortunate that we did not better inform ourselves of the speaker's specific content in advance. I apologize going forward. We will certainly learn from this experience. Font has not responded to repeated requests from the Post for comment. And you can read a little bit of the rest of this article. You can find it in the New York Post. But yeah, this is what we're seeing going on in the world these days. Salakia. Let's go back. This is Isaiah 1:9. Except Yahweh of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. Right. So if it wasn't for Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and their plan to leave a small remnant that would not bow the knee to Baal, we would have all been like Sodom. Okay. And we should have all been like unto Gomorrah. You see? We would have all been like unto Sodom and Gomorrah. We would have all been through, our kids would be through, because, the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Man, they keep changing the laws of the Most High. They keep perverting the true righteous ways of Yahweh Bashim Yashai, the creator of the righteous and the unrighteous. You see, these Edomites are totally in rebellion against the Lord, and they hire people, okay, that are perverted, to attack the young in schools. You see? And we all know what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah. This is 2 Peter 2:6. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, That's what the Most High did. He turned the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes. Okay? Condemned them with an overthrow, right? They were condemned and overthrown, making them an ensample, which means example unto those that after should live ungodly, right? What happened in Sodom and Gomorrah is an example of to those that should live ungodly. Okay. And here, what a coincidence that the city, and don't quote me on this, but Chicago is probably one of the most violent cities right now in America. Okay. There's a lot of gun violence in Chicago, man. Matter of fact, I just heard, I just saw on in the news, if it was today, it was within the last 3 days, there was a rapper that got out of Cook County jail and was shot 64 times in front of the jail. Like what's going on in Chicago? And then here it is. You want to give 5th graders free condoms? Is that the right message? I don't know if that's the right message, man. Okay. As if 5th graders weren't picking up a weapon and just blasting, So put a condom in the kid's hand and, they might just throw it away and do what it do. You see? So, between this and these classes that these 6th and 7th graders are seeing, man, this is truly Sodom and Gomorrah, man. Okay? And we know what happened unto Sodom and Gomorrah. It was an example. Okay? And who should we give in the examples? You see? This is let's start here, man. Let's get Sirach 42:9. It says, the father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep. Right. Now, this is speaking about daughters, okay? But this can go hand in hand with sons as well, man. Okay, the father waketh for the daughter when no man knoweth. Right. As a father, you lose sleep over your children. You get up in the middle of the night, you check your kids, when they're babies, you check if they're still breathing. When they get older, you check if they're, staying up late, if they're, just not going to bed. A father takes care of his child as wakes up and looks after their daughters as well as their sons. Okay, it says, and the care for her taketh away sleep. You see, when she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age, and being married, lest she should be hated. Right. And you got to take care of your daughter, unless she gives away her virginity for nothing. Okay. And then she be hated. Why? Because, she didn't live according to, your rule, and that happens all too much in the Israelite household. Young daughters, they give away their virginity to some young punk. Okay. They get married and leave the house, and then she be hated. You know what I'm saying? And she destroy her life. You see? But who is supposed to be in charge of these things, man? It's the parents, man. It's not to be in the damn classroom. We're not supposed to be telling kindergartners that they can be a damn freak show, okay? And putting these ideas in their head, you see, and perverting the generations to come. It says, in her virginity, lest she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house. You see, even having sex in her father's house, okay, with all the little schoolboys. We heard that what was it saying? Let's just get it real quick. Let me just make a point real quick, man. This lady right here at another elite prep school, okay, was teaching about what? Porn literacy. Okay. Now, according to that scripture, it speaks about the daughter being found with child in her father's home. So she, giving it up in her father's house. Okay. And Lord forbid that she be getting gangbanged. Real talk, man. You hear about these things, Let's see. Let's go back. Yeah, man. Let's see. 10th verse, Sirach 42:10. In her virginity, lest she be defiled and gone with child in her father's house. Okay, right. She be gotten with child in her father's house. Right. She lived with her father, but yet somebody's creeping over, or somebody in his homie, and old boys, and doing this and doing that to a young girl. Why? Because at school they were teaching about gangbangs, man. And nowadays these kids, they just they don't think. Nowadays it's like, what I'm saying, the kids are they're very silly, man. This generation is not like the generations before, man. You see, it says, and having a husband, lest she should be misbehave herself, and when she is married, lest she should be barren. Okay. You see, keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, right? You're supposed to keep watch over your daughter, man. That she be not shameless, okay? That she be not little hoochie. Lest she make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies, and a byword in the city, and reproach among the people, and make thee ashamed before the multitude. You see? So yeah, and this goes for the son as well, man. This could be twofold, man. Because you don't want to raise your son either, to be a little thought. You don't want to raise your son to be a fool, and just having babies and getting with all these young girls, and he don't even know how to change a tire. He don't know how to work, and he don't know how to be a man. Oh yeah, but he know how to mess with all the little girls in the neighborhood. Nah. See, this is not what the Lord intended for the Israelite family, okay? But here in Babylon, you see it's quite the opposite. Here they're just shoving all this stuff down the children's in their minds, especially with movies. Here it is. You watch a movie and it got homo scenes in it. It got lesbo scenes. It got this, that, and the third. Like, it doesn't even need to be there. They're showing pictures of some dude's butt, or some dude's D, or some sexual act going on that kids don't have no business watching. All right, you see. So we have to be mindful, because our kids are in a war zone as well. This is Sirach 30 and 3, he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. Okay? And if you don't have a son and you have a daughter, well, hey, teach your daughter, and that grieveth the enemy. Because that grieves these devils, man. That grieves these devils when they have opposition, a righteous opposition. You see? They want our people to be exactly what they say, and that's what? Dumb, unemployed, and full of children. You see, they want us to be losers. They want us to go by their philosophies, and now it's in the damn schools with the children. You see, this is Sirach 7 and let's get 23. Hast thou children? Instruct them, and bow down their neck from their youth. Right, bow down their neck from their youth. You're supposed to, make them obey you from a child. Bow down their neck. Discipline them. You see, because that ultimately grieves the enemy. It says, hast thou children? Instruct them, and bow down their neck from their youth. Hast thou daughters? Have a care of their body, and shoot not thyself cheerful toward them. Because you can't be best friends, with your kids, have them take care of their body, because, the Israelite woman is very precious, man. The Israelite woman is serves a beautiful purpose, They're the ones who, through the spirit and power Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, they incubate the babies, and so the woman is supposed to be tender and delicate, like it says in Deuteronomy. So you're supposed to watch over them, man. Fathers are supposed to watch over them, and shoot not thyself cheerful toward them. Yeah, you're not supposed to be their friend. We're not here to be, our kids' best friend. You know, we're here to discipline them and guide them, you know, in the word, you know, and see the scriptures cover everything, even the daughters. You know we speak to the sons a lot. We speak to the fathers, to the men, but the scriptures speak, you know, about, you know, towards women and to daughters as well. Because if you don't, Esau will, okay, and they'll pervert their minds. It says, marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter, but give her to a man of understanding. See, and in the ancient world, you know, men used to marry their daughters to who? To men of understanding. And that was a very important matter. It was very precious, because you didn't want your daughter to be married off to just some joker. You know, they came from a family of clowns. You see, they made marriages that were going to make sense. They were going to bring forth, you know, a prosperous offspring. You know, it says, and they came from a family of, you know, it was righteous. It was good. It says, hast thou a wife after thy mind? Forsake her not, but give not thyself over to a light woman. Right. Okay. So there's, you know, there's laws, judgments, statutes, and commandments that we are to adhere to, you know. So, you know, I just wanted to bring this out, man, because, you know, Esau's bringing out their stuff, so we got to bring out the truth. You know, we got to bring out the truth, man, because they're waging war on our children, man. You see? And if we do not teach our children the truth, you know, they can ultimately become degenerates. You know, the Lord built us up to, you know, the Lord ultimately, you know, in the beginning, you know, planted us a noble and a vine, a noble vine. You know, how did we become degenerate? Well, from listening, you know, to the philosophies of the wicked, from going into the gods of the other nations and following after them and all their perversions. You see? But being returned to this truth, man, we have to build up our you know, our offspring, because this devil, man, he wants to attack the young. He's attacking the young. Why do you think they did this the pandemic? They didn't leave out the schools. You know, they put these kids behind computer screens and kept them out of school, so their minds were not in school. You see? Why? To dumb down the generation to come, because they know that there's no future, because Esau wants to rule out of chaos. And as you can see, if he had his way, man, he'll be telling your kids to who knows what in the classroom. You already see they got these transformers reading to them. You see? So all this madness is going on. All right? So we have to pray for you know, Yahweh Hashem Yeshai to come swiftly, man, to deliver us from this madness. All right? So Lord willing, this was edifying. You know, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yeshai, Bashem Rokak Wadash, and Shalak Rayam to these Edomites, man, in this madness. Shalom.